You're watching the News Channel 15 Highlight Zone with Glenn Marini. Sports coverage you can count on with the Highlight Zone starts now.
Coming into the night, the NHC title chase was tighter than the bark on a birch tree. That's why we're branching out. The Northeast Hoosier Conference taking center stage tonight, and that means a trip out to Homestead for a huge matchup. It's where our man Joe Whalen spent the night and joins us now with more. Joe?
Glenn, Homestead and DeKalb met earlier this season. The Spartans beat the Barons 51-50 in the Carroll Classic. That game was on December 28th, and it doesn't play into the NHC standings. But tonight's would, and fans were looking for another barn burner. DeKalb visiting Homestead. It's your Highlight Zone game of the week. Homestead in the NHC's driver's seat coming in the Spartans 4-0 in conference. DeKalb, meanwhile, one of three teams right behind the action at 3-1. And early on, the Barons were slowing it down into their advantage. Cole Hartman, high degree of difficulty, gets him a free throw as well. DeKalb down one. But Nick Gamble says, "I'll see you and raise you." Through three defenders, the Spartan senior puts up a three spot himself. Then Homestead getting after on the other end. Gamble would say afterwards, defense was the key in this one. Kyle Togoshi, the key on this play. He gets the hoop in the arm. Spartans building a lead before the break. Closing seconds of the second now. Gamble looking for more. John Geller there to back him up and beat the buzzer. Sparty up 25-18 at recess. Third quarter. Barons desperate for points. Addison Dowd, the tough floater in traffic. But too little, too late. Homestead can beat you on the run. They can beat you inside with Biggie. Caleb Swanigan staying with the shot. Then it's back to the track meet. Trevor Osborne, the lay-in in transition, and Gamble kicking it old school with the fearsome flat top. He had a game-high 20. He caps it off as Homestead moves to 5-0 in the NHC. They win it 54-40.
We started attacking the basket more and getting stops, and that turned into offense on the other end. I think we kind of got them out of their game a little bit, speeding the game up. We've been preaching defense all week. I think we kind of slacked off a little bit the last couple games. The communication was great tonight, and hopefully we keep it up.
You know, we gave up 15 the first quarter, only gave up 25 then, 2, 3, and 4. So I thought, you know, defensively was where we needed to be.
Next up, DeKalb hosts Carroll on Saturday. Homestead travels to New Haven that same day. And Glenn, once again, it was Nick Gamble coming up big down the stretch for the Spartans.
Yeah, certainly. He's had a great senior season, but the freshman Caleb Swanigan had 9. He's going to be going up against Steve McElvain in that New Haven game, 6'11", 283 for Big Mac. It's going to be a big one in the post. Should be great. Thank you, Joe. Columbia City at New Haven, both 3-1 in conference coming in. Those two squaring off at Armstrong Arena. And the aptly mentioned Steve McElvain getting it in the post, getting 2 right there. New Haven up by 4 early. How about Derek Heinen, the senior for Columbia City, going to play his college ball at Huntington University. So are a couple of his teammates. Cuts it to 2. But VJ Beecham, he's going to play at Notre Dame. Mike Bray has to like that jumper. 6-point lead for the Bulldogs. How about Drew Benedict, the coach's kid, with the jumper right there? He can shoot the basketball. Cuts it to 4, but Beecham simply too much. The Bulldogs never trailed as New Haven a nice win over Columbia City, 69-54. At Charger Fieldhouse, Carroll getting hot, winning 4 of their last 5. The Chargers hosting Belmont. Third quarter is where we pick it up, and it's Mason Miller. Check out the night from Mason Miller, 26 points that would lead the Chargers. They were up 22 at that point, and then Maverick Birch going the other way with the bucket. How about the Braves doing it again? This time it's Parker Zezer to the rim for 2. Belmont cuts the lead to 17, but simply too much. Carroll on their home floor. Austin Thomas gets the bucket. Chandler White had 17 as well. Carroll a winner, 55-28. Down in Osseo, Norwell ranked 15th in this week's 3A state poll. The Knights hosting East Noble, and Norwell was looking good early. David Vogel, the Pilfer, the pair. Vogel had a big night. He led Norwell with 16 points. It was a 19-point lead right there midway through the third quarter. How about East Noble going to Houston Pattee? He had 16 points. That would lead East Noble, but it would not be enough. East Noble Doesn't quite have the same length that Norwell has. Cam Denny inside right hand. Good for 2 as Norwell wins big 73-40. Moving on to the SAC, coming into the night, the standings were crowded at the top. Northrop leading the conference at 4-1. 4 teams right behind at 3-2 in league play. Despite it all, Northrop could actually earn the conference title with a win tonight and losses by Luers and Concordia. And Luers and Concordia at Northside. Bruins at Southside. You saw Nate Thomas. He had 16. How about Bryson Scott to Brenton for 3? Then it's Trey Maston for South going the other way. But still a 6-point Northrop lead. Brenton driving for 2, but it was Bryson's night. He had 34, did the Purdue recruit. And Northrop wins 92-67. Let's go to By-Hay Arena. Luers and Northside both 3-2 in conference. And this is the second quarter. We pick it up with Northside going inside. Jeremy Jones bounce pass to Usha Mitchell, who sinks the jumper from the lane. Luers coming right back and doing it with some defense. James Blackman has to like this. Tyrell Johnson the steal and takes it all the way, laying it in himself. Shabazz Khalik rallying the troops to get the ball inside, and that's what they do. Nigel Jones, the nice move for a pair. James Blackman Jr. misses the baseline jumper, but Tom Green's got to like the effort there. Puts it back in. Trevion Cruz to Usha Mitchell. Mitchell with the big night as Northside beats Luers 85-76. Both Concordia and Wayne 3-2 in conference. Generals hosting the Cadets. First quarter, DJ McCall sneaking in behind the defense for the board. Doing good work right there on the board, I should say. How about Justin Mitchell? Coast to coast, the Mitchell brothers, the Mitchell trio, having themselves a season little soft touch. DJ McCall then dials it up from downtown. The junior got the inside-outside game. And Thomas Starks muscling his way for a lay-in. Concordia looking good. Concordia simply too much tonight. The Cadets get a win 61-56, so Northrop cannot clinch the conference title tonight. Hey, out at Dwenger, a young Saints team looking to turn things around. Dwenger hosting Snyder. We pick it up in the first quarter, and the Saints come out on fire. How about Grady Eifert, the junior? Those good bloodlines. His dad played some ball at Purdue. Knocking down the 3 again. Eifert had 20 to lead the Saints. BD up by 4, but Snyder would go inside. Josh Spitnail with the bucket there, and then Devin Lowe with the fast break 2. Snyder up by 4, and then you got to check this one out. Right before the first quarter buzzer, Devlin Williams, the half-court heat blast and counted. The buzzer beater for Snyder, 72-61. The Panthers earn the victory on the road. Well, we've got to take a 2-minute timeout, but coming up after the break, we're going to hit up the SAC girls. Southside coming in a win away from another conference championship. Plus, we've got boys ACAC action. Conference leaders Bluffton and Leo both in action tonight. We got highlights of that and much, much more coming up next.